When planning your studio, your creative space, many people look at the actual size of the room. That's important, but it's not critical. What is critical is the size of your workspace, not the square space. So here's my studio. It's not particularly fancy. In fact, at the moment I took this video, that floor was absolutely filthy. But this space I enter from a pantry door in my kitchen. It's the size of about a small bedroom. There is a hall that exits into the garage. That's not what's important. What's important is the amount of workspace I have fit into this relatively small room. So here's a little map of my studio. As you can see, it's not very wide, and I'm measuring the width not of the room, but of the walk-around space, the space between the fixed cabinets and the wall. And I have from the window all the way down to that hallway, I actually have 14 feet, but there's a little cabinet that sort of prevents me from using that. So it's really 12 feet. So my walk-around space, or the space in my room that is not got, fixed cabinets in it and stuff, is going to be approximately 108 feet of floor space. It's not huge, but it's perfectly adequate for my needs. Along one wall are my only really fixed cabinets. In between those is my mid-arm sewing machine. Now these fixed cabinets are actually wider than the fixed workspace. The workspace is 24 by 36, which is a cutting mat. Along the back, I have storage for thread. So I've got a total of 12 feet of workspace within that space. All of the rest of my workspace is flexible. It's all on wheels. My biggest piece and most functional piece is a Koala Grand Quilter that holds a sewing machine and storage down below, and it has a gigantic leaf on it. That table is almost 70 inches in length and 45 inches deep, meaning that it can be used for really, really big projects. But the leaf can also be put down to make it even smaller. And as I said, the drawing table, to the left of it, the ironing board, everything is a workspace. And all those workspaces, with the exception of the 12 feet of fixed space, are all on wheels and can all be moved around. So here's a little tour of my studio with some music.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea. I just wanna say that I feel that our love is real. Maybe we should hurry up and seal the deal. Oh, oh, I just wanna love
So let's do the numbers. My workspace, so the fixed workspace, those cabinets, there's 2 of them, and they each have 6 square feet of workspace, so that's 12 square feet. The drawing table, if it's opened up completely, it has 8 square feet of workspace. The ironing board, which I do use for a variety of things, not just ironing, but that one has a little over 4 square feet. And the grand quilter, huge, it has almost 21 square feet. That is my biggest workspace. And again, it can be folded down. The room, if you add in the total square foot of the room, so in other words, underneath the fixed cabinets, it is a 12 by 12 room, okay? And I didn't take in the hall. So that's 144 square feet. Then let's add up all of that lovely workspace. Everything from the drawing table when it's totally opened up, the ironing board, those cutting mats, the grand quilter. When you add up the whole thing, you've really got a lot of workspace, 45 square feet. That means in my studio, 31% or a third of my area is workspace. And that makes it efficient and effective. And boy, do I appreciate that room. Well, this is Margaret, and I really hope that I gave you a little bit of information that might help you when you're designing or cleaning up or moving or having that creative space and you're thinking, does this space really work for me? What the heck is wrong? My idea in this video was to point you toward workspace, making sure that the kind of workspace that you have is flexible and that the amount of workspace is more important than the square space that you have in whatever room or corner of your house where you use to create. Please like this video, it helps me out, and subscribe. I'll see you next time.